The vast chamber of the Galactic Council fell silent as Ambassador Kane stepped forward, his worn boots echoing against the crystalline floor. Around him, representatives from 47 species watched with a mixture of contempt and barely concealed fear. The human delegation had been summoned to answer for their crimes against galactic law. High Counselor Vex, a towering reptilian with scales that shifted color based on emotion, leaned forward from his elevated throne. His scales displayed the deep crimson of anger mixed with the pale yellow of disgust. "Humanity?" Vex hissed, his voice carrying through the chamber's translation matrices. "You stand accused of violating 17 major galactic statutes. Your species has exceeded population limits on 17 worlds, violated mining quotas on 12 systems, and worst of all, refused to submit to the mandatory genetic modifications required for lesser species." Kane's jaw tightened, but his voice remained steady. "We've harmed no one. We've simply refused to limit our growth and potential based on arbitrary rules designed by species that fear competition." A chorus of outraged, chittering, growling, and harmonic protests erupted from the assembled delegates. The insectoid representative from Hive 7 clicked his mandibles aggressively. "Competition? You humans breed like parasites. Your expansion threatens the careful balance we've maintained for millennia." "The balance you speak of," Kane replied, his eyes sweeping the chamber, "is stagnation. You've divided the galaxy into neat little territories, assigned species their roles, and demanded everyone stay in their designated boxes. Humanity refuses to accept that our ceiling is your floor." Counselor Vex's scales deepened to a threatening shade of purple. "Your defiance ends today. The Council has voted. Humanity will be contained to your original system. Any humans found beyond the soul boundary will be eliminated. Your colonies will be disbanded, your ships impounded, and your species will learn their place." The chamber erupted in approving sounds from the assembled species. For too long they had watched humanity spread across the stars with an alarming vigor that reminded them uncomfortably of their own forgotten ambitions. Kane stood motionless for a long moment, then slowly reached into his uniform pocket. Every weapon in the chamber swiveled toward him, but he merely withdrew a small communication device. "Before you celebrate," Kane said, his voice cutting through the noise, "I have a message from Earth's Defense Council." Without waiting for permission, he activated the device. The holographic image of Admiral Torres appeared, her scarred face stern and uncompromising. "To the Galactic Council," Torres began, "we've received word of your decision regarding humanity. We want to make our position absolutely clear." The chamber watched in stunned silence as Torres continued. "For the past 50 years, while you've been content with your assigned territories and careful treaties, humanity has been preparing. We've built shipyards in dead systems you've never bothered to explore. We've established research facilities in the spaces between your neat little borders. We've been busy." Counselor Vex's scales shifted to a nervous orange. "Impossible. Our surveys show no human presence in restricted zones." Torres smiled, and it wasn't pleasant. "Your surveys are 40 years out of date. While you've been playing politics, we've been building the largest fleet in galactic history. We've been training soldiers who don't know the meaning of surrender. We've been preparing for the day you'd try to put us in a cage." The Admiral's image gestured, and new holograms appeared throughout the chamber. Massive shipyards hidden in asteroid fields, battle fleets assembled in dark space, and weapons platforms that dwarfed anything in the Council's arsenal. "These are live feeds," Torres continued. "Right now, human fleets are positioned within striking distance of every major Council world. We have enough firepower to crack planets, and the will to use it if necessary." Pandemonium erupted. Species representatives began shouting in their native languages, their translation matrices struggling to keep up with the overlapping demands for explanation. Kane raised his voice above the chaos. "But we don't want war. We came here with a warning, not a threat. You have 48 hours to reconsider your decision, rescind the containment order, recognize humanity's right to expand freely, and we'll pretend this conversation never happened." "And if we refuse?" Vex demanded, his scales now a deep black of fear mixed with rage. Kane's expression didn't change. Then you'll discover why every predator species in the galaxy learned to fear the human's ancestral homeworld. You'll learn why we call ourselves the children of Earth, the death world that made us strong. He paused, letting his words sink. Charles, Earth didn't just give us life. It taught us how to survive anything. Your species evolved on garden worlds with gentle skies and predictable seasons. We came from a planet that spent millions of years trying to kill us with ice ages, supervolcanoes, asteroid impacts, and predators that made us their prey. The chamber had gone quiet again, the weight of his words settling over the assembled delegates. We survived by being tougher, smarter, and more adaptable than anything that tried to eliminate us. That's not a threat. It's a biological fact. You want to make us your enemy? You want to try to contain the species that turned the most dangerous planet in the galaxy into a garden? Kane looked around the chamber one final time. 48 hours. Choose wisely. As the human delegation filed out, Ambassador Kane delivered his final words. Run. The Galactic Council had 2 days to decide whether to face humanity as partners or prey. The countdown had begun.